DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, Monster Energy, and U.S. Navy.
After 2 long series, we are ready to dive into our third. This one will determine who is going to be moving into the playoffs on Sunday, because we still haven't figured out who is going to be joining Furia and Genji, who have already qualified after the games yesterday. I am your host, Bach. Joining me on the desk, Sean, Gares, and Potter. It's been a long day.
It is. I was thinking about putting my mouse ears on.
Do it.
You know, I'll do it a little bit later, you know. It's something I got to save. Got to have something in the tank, you know.
Well, I didn't like what I was seeing, so I think it makes sense to keep you off camera for a bit, because I'm a little bit concerned about something you might do on camera.
What?
He was playing with props under the desk, and I'm worried he's going to pull one of them out on camera, so we're just going to...
Why are you snitching? This is insane.
You were just, you were sketching me out a little bit. But like looking at that last game, I'm hopeful that we're gonna, you know, we're not gonna see any more of these crazy series. It's gonna be a little bit more predictable as we get into this game. It's North versus Endpoint. It should be a much more predictable series.
I mean, we thought the same thing though when Endpoint went against Fours, so I have no idea what to expect. Thomas is a beast, right? He carried Endpoint through that first series. Obviously, he has a supporting cast, right? This is a team game. I'm sure the other players did a lot too. But
are you sure?
Thomas literally got them into OT with a 1-on-3 at match point and propelled them across the finish line. He had such insane stats throughout that entire series. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that against North, who's had all day to prepare, right? That's something that we can't forget about. Fatigue is a thing in days like this for Counter-Strike players, especially inexperienced ones that are waking up early and probably pounding energy drinks.
Exactly, and fatigue and consistency, those are the 2 key things. Mark, you said that this one surely should be a little bit more straightforward. I think you might be wrong here. Yeah,
put that in some quotes, because
I think both of these squads, Endpoint is just too new to be able to rely on Thomas to show up like he did earlier this morning. And with North, we know the story of North so far. We've talked about it over and over again. They tend to quiet down the further along in the tournament that they go. So hopefully they do end up showing up here today.
we can take a look at the group bracket as well. As you saw, Furia came out swinging against Endpoint, and we were like, okay, maybe a little bit of an easier victory. And then they show up against North and absolutely decimate. In fact, in my notes, I say North looking for redemption after ass whooping by Furia.
That's a good note.
Would be a pretty accurate way to describe that. Viking funeral, you know, just art, just.
What is that supposed to be?
The fire.
The
arrow. Gotcha.
On,
the Viking
dog.
funeral. Took me a second. Okay.
You said you wanted one.
I do want one. My wife says no way.
No?
She says you're not getting that. She's like, you're lucky if I even bury you.
Oh.
Yeah. She's just gonna just leave.
You don't want to do that
Feels
thing where
bad,
you come back again as like a tree, like they plant you.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be stuffed and then put into the corner. Like, and they could dress me up each day, like I'm always hanging out, maybe make me poseable like a G.I. Joe. That'd be a lot of fun. We do have the maps, though, so we'll be able to see what exactly we're going to. Christine, you've been doing the homework. Do you have any expectations?
My expectations are thrown right out the window on this one. The thing with North is we always talk about how proficient they are across all 7 maps. They tend to bring out all 7 maps every tournament they go to. Their vetoes consistently change on a constant basis, and it makes sense, right? They have a new coach, a new in-game leader. So,
I think Endpoint should pick Train.
Train.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think picking into Vertigo on MSL oh, they're going to go for the Vertigo pick into MSL.
Vertigo
in the
into
past,
MSL.
I thought MSL called some of the best Vertigo stuff. I haven't seen, obviously, this new roster play it.
There's the Mirage. Now, we talked about this. We actually haven't seen Mirage once.
Okay, this is actually really spicy. I really like the map pool because I get to see what MSL has this new North team doing on Vertigo. I get to see how he plays on the new Dust 2 with the B tunnel roof open, because I was disappointed in the MIBR complexity game, right? Literally, I didn't even know which version of Dust 2 we were playing because neither team threw anything over the tunnels. I don't think that'll be the case with MSL.
I don't think so either. And you know, Vertigo for North is actually quite the strong map. I think Gade is their heavy hitter on this map, which is so surprising. He's their old in-game leader. He just seems to, the past 2 DreamHack Opens that North attended, they busted out the Vertigo, and it was Gade consistently top fragging, just entering towards that A site. It just seems like A, MSL, Vertigo, all 3 of these things just really combined really well together for Gade.
Well, we did have a chance to sit down with their opposition, Endpoint, about their tournament run as underdogs thus far. Let's take a look.
Our last game against Forest was really good, really nice win to get, especially after yesterday's performance. Started off with a long overtime on Vertigo that I'm really proud that we managed to close out. And then we lost Inferno. I think we could have won that map as well. A bit of mistakes, some stupid rounds lost, but then we came back and we just absolutely smashed them on train, so it feels good. To beat North, I think we just have to obviously do some research on how they play, but also just stick to our own game plan and like don't be scared of them. It's gonna be hard for sure. Like they're a good team and like they play very structured, I think, but I think that could also play into our strengths. And I think we have a good chance of winning this best of 3 as well. I think if we play our game and if I step up a bit as well, I think we have a good chance of winning. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling confident.
Well, I admire the confidence there that they feel like they can potentially have another upset here and make it into the playoffs.
Cinderella story? You smelling it?
I don't know. I don't know.
You got
know,
the
that Forza win, I had Forza pegged as my favorite. I think, Christine, you did as well.
Yeah.
So beating them, now moving into North, it almost feels like this should be an easier match.
You would think so. Hey, listen, momentum, it is a strong, strong thing, and especially in Counter-Strike, when you're on a roll and you've got that feeling, it seems like Endpoint certainly are there. Somewhat. We got to remember in this morning in their very first match, they did have a slower start and then they started ramping up. The more and more kills they got, the more loose they got. We saw them being a lot more mobile across the map, especially Thomas. So certainly that sort of confidence that we just saw out of Robin in that interview, it bodes really well for these Endpoint guys because going into this match, they got to start off strong, not be scared, not turtle up like we saw them do on that first day, and be proactive, be out there, take the duels.
I think the comfort of Vertigo, just how close the sides are on the map, helps out a team like Endpoint a lot, right? I don't think they'll feel like after the first half they're completely out of the game. Now, I mean, MSL could call the best Vertigo game I've ever seen in my life, but I rarely see just utter blowouts on the map. And so I think Endpoint can keep the game close, which at very least, that'll keep them in the series mentally. Because as an underdog, you don't want to feel like the first map is over, we got 16-3'd, now we're going to their map.
Yeah, this is like, effectively you've lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at their opposition in North, one of the things we talked about in the pre-show yesterday was the tilt factor not tilting. I think one of the things that contributed to that last match was the tilt factor between Endpoint and Forza. But it is prediction time. Christine, give it to me.
I have to go with North here. I think this veto is pretty strong for them. Vertigo, Endpoint, I'm sure they think they're about to hustle North, but I gotta believe that North have what it takes to be able to close out a series such as this.
UK hustle. I'm gonna go with North as well. I mean, let's keep it short and sweet here. I think North are the better team.
Red, white, and blue is red, white, and blue regardless of what country it is. I'm going UK, Endpoint all the way. Big upset, I'm riding those guys. Underdogs all day long. Twitch chat, you guys have been voting at home as well. Let's take a peek at those. Yeah,
wow,
baby.
UK's
Ride the wave, take it down. We are gonna throw things to a break, and when we come back, we will find out that I am right. Stay tuned.
Temptation don't lure you, and the guns don't harm you. shake you down. Walked in Friday night, looking for a girl, feeling alright. Jukebox playing loud and true, Willie was singing that crazy tune. There she was, getting down, riding that bull, people crowding around. She stepped off and walked the room, got me hooked, nothing I couldn't do. I can't deny that I'm into you. She locked me up in her beautiful truth. This
Oh my word, who thought it was a good idea to put us on the mic for Team Endpoint versus North? The team names kind of say it all, really, Hugo. I can't wait to get into this one. We've got, teams from such different backgrounds, such different calibers. You've got a team, vying to be up there with some of the best in the world and not doing the best of jobs. And then on the other side of the fence, obviously, you're looking at North, and they've been around, they've been doing some things. But here, they're meant to be the favorites, Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be North coming in as favourites, but there's definitely question marks, right? There have been roster changes. MSL moving back into this team, and Endpoint already proving that they can upset against teams in their group so far. They took down Fours earlier on this exact map. Thomas dropping 50 kills in a 50-plus round game. We're going to have to jump straight into it, Harry, and see if we can finally have the UK dream, getting out of groups and going the distance here in Anaheim. Endpoint on that T side, going back to the A site was so favorable earlier on today, and North are ready for it. They've watched the demos, they're fighting down ramp, but not to the best of their ability. 2 kills going the way of this T side, and Endpoint executing onto the site.
Yeah, they sit 2 men up right now, and they're going to start to aggress down through short. They actually are allowed to get this bomb planted thanks to that smoke that's gone down. Gade, he tries to get close, tries to get in the face of these players in the bomb site, and he'll come to regret it. So just Cajun being Kirby left, and honestly, I mean, you're not expecting too much from them here. The odds overwhelmingly stacked against them in this pistol round. They are good for 1, but that should be the end of the journey here for North. I mean, with Endpoint just backed off down the ramp, yeah, I mean, you've got no hope of getting on that bomb, as is the way with Vertigo pistol rounds. Yeah. That is quick, and it is clean from Endpoint.
I don't think I've ever seen a T-side 5-man A-rush on pistol fail on Vertigo, whether that be in pro games or pugs. It just seems to be the play. Those USPs, you've got to nail the immediate shots, and well, Endpoint, they got off to a fast couple of kills down those ramps, and at that point, it's their round to take. We're going to see a lot of A play from Endpoint here today if this, reflects similarly to the game they played against Fours. They've got those smokes to cut out the lines of sight from North, and North have now put numbers towards A to try and battle back. A force buy on the CT side, and pistols waiting in the wings. Endpoint taking their time. Not much map control, and that could give the ability for North to flank if they're ready for it, but Endpoint moving together as a unit up through ramp, already a first advantage, and MSL's gone as well. That's a good flash, but no one to capitalize off of it. AZ's late to the party, and he will be put down. It's 3 kills, the favor of Endpoint. Surreal holding the flank, making sure no naughty Danes are coming in for the back line, and this should just be the cleanup crew for Endpoint. These AKs going to be far more favored at the range. Even Gade getting spammed through smokes, can't catch a break.
Oh, this is ballsy. He's sticking around, he's looking for something, but yeah, I mean, even if you get 1, right, it's not going to spiral out of control. Endpoint, similar to what we saw early on, right? Just rinse, repeat in these A plays up against these pistols here. Hugo, you already said the rifles are going to outclass them every single time. So this is going down exactly as we expected. I really can't wait till we get to see, just some rifle on rifle rounds. See how Endpoint stack up against this North squad.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, I was going to say, right, for North, they come into to today, right, off the back of some, not the best performance from them yesterday. We had MSL in particular really struggling. And I think if maybe we see those problems rearing their heads again today, well, Endpoint are going to be pretty quick to try and capitalize on it. Britain doesn't get these opportunities all too often.
Seize them while you can, hey? And they certainly are already in the lead on this T side. North, I mean, in the back of my mind, Harry, I have the memory of them losing to ATK just recently at the Pro League Finals. Obviously, different roster without MSL in this team, but that was the game that got them eliminated from the EPL Finals on this map as well. So that's always a scary reminder that they can be upset on Vertigo, and Endpoint have already proven their worth. We're going back to the A play. It's the old familiar as North finally have a smoke to actually try and take some control here, but Endpoint can be patient and wait it out. MSL is getting aggressive, but the USP is not going to be of much value here, and Thomas has already spammed him down through smoke. No survivors here on this A ramp. 2 quick kills for Endpoint. Have we just watched the same 3 rounds? I'm having deja vu.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Vertigo all over, right? This A bomb site is still very, very strong, nice and easy to grab, and something that they've been, they look very well rehearsed on, right? They've got the smokes, they've got the set piece to get them into it. And a lot of this is really going to come down to what North want to do to combat that more than anything. Like, how do you want to play for this A-bomb site? Do you want to go take that ramp control? Do you want to play more passive? I imagine we're going to see these ramp fights coming on in just because of the smoke utility that goes down and cut this bomb site in 2. I don't think you can really afford to play this passively if you're North, at least with how Endpoint have looked early on and how they've looked at the rest of this event thus far. And I think they know that, so they're just waiting for the rifles to come out now. Ooh, Cajun's going to make this a bit expensive. Takes a couple of players down with him. The other reason why this A site's so popular is he gets those 2 kills there, and you might start thinking, okay, well, maybe he can push it, maybe he can get something done. Well, the bomb's planted for ramp, and the 3 players on ramp just have to not peek. It's kind of as easy as that.
Or just spray the smoke and close the round.
Yeah, to hold that one down. So it's the dream anti-eco site to go to.
You talk about those A ramp fights as well, obviously something that Astralis kind of coined on this map on that CT side. Well, it's not what we were seeing from Fours earlier on today. They weren't really pushing the extremities of that A site with the rifle rounds. So I hope North can try and adapt now as they see Endpoint going back to the A site once again. The flash up. MSL has got his AWP in play, but Crucial is joining him as well on the T side. 3 players here for North early on. You can afford to put heavy control towards A mid. Obviously not that important on Vertigo. And Endpoint don't really have anyone there for the time being, just holding on passive. MSL, quick shot. He's down to 12 though. Mighty Max going to get the trade, but there's so many players up on this A site. North are just re-peeking one-on-one. Crucial trade indeed, and he's found another, taking the advantage back for Endpoint. The A site once again belongs to the Brits.
They've got that under lock and a key. Gade and Cajun a long way from home. Now, the one upside they've got is this bomb is still a little ways out. It's not going to get planted just yet. Cajun's got aggressive into mid in the meantime, and he's going to clear all of this out. Gade hasn't heard nor seen anything over towards B either. So as Cajun's clearing these lower halls, that's where we're going to look to see Gade try and rejoin him now. The scary question is, Endpoint, are they going to realize that both of these players are wrapping around from the back? Now, they haven't seen anyone in this bomb site for a while, so the wheels might be turning in the heads of Endpoint. They will go back and check, and Crucial spotted one at the very least. And North, they've decided they don't want any part in this. They've actually just backed away. They're going to try and hold on to these guns. So Endpoint, just rinse repeating this A bomb site take. They find themselves 4-0 up on the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, respectable save from North there. Once you get spotted and you don't get a kill off of it, you know that Endpoint can just take so much control and start moving into both elevator, take CT as well. That really just reduces your chance of winning the round, and they'd rather have some guns going forward. Now, they won't be able to buy behind this, but they're at least going to have a couple of weapons and some pistols with armor. Endpoint running away, as you said, 4-0. Fantastic start. Let's see if they can keep it up consistently on this T side, though. What are the answers that North want to bring to the table? We already just saw those A ramp fights that we were talking about, where they didn't really work out too favorably. The T side AWP going off well for Endpoint, rather, as well as Crucial gets a couple of kills there up on the A site. No AWP here for North either.
So finally, Endpoint deciding to move away from having as much of a presence down here towards ramp in the early stages. Instead, they're just going to sit back passive while these smokes are down. Crucial. He'll take this all day long, right? He's just allowed to go peeking over the top and has kind of free reign over this ramp area to find an opener. He's not going to get given anything, and you can see North. They've actually they've been conditioned to have to stack this A site heavily. I mean, what other choices have you been left with at this point in time if you're North? And Endpoint know this, so they've actually slowed this round right down. They start to push up through ramp as these smokes are closing. You can see they've got players as well pressuring the extremities of this B bomb site in the meantime. Just feeling this out, and no one making a drop of noise. You know, no one giving any hints to North, to MSL, to work his magic with.
Yeah, Surreal's throwing a bunch of grenades into B, but he snuck back around towards A, and with no one pushing, Gade realizes that's only a fake, even if he is still on the site. North have the numbers to contend. 3 here. Double short side setup as well. Kiebi's taken first blood. That's a crucial kill through the smoke. Endpoint can't get the trade. A double short side setup. Will they expect a second man? They do. Surreal heads up players. That will allow the bomb plant on this site. And Kiebi, he may have found first blood, but he can't find anything else. These smokes completely cutting off his lines of sight. He does get a bit of a tag onto Surreal as he backs up, but Endpoint have got themselves into favorable post plants and with a man advantage still.
Something's got to be found for North, and it's just they're still coming up in favor of Endpoint with no kills getting found and time running low. It's the save again. Gade and Cajun, the save brothers, backing out of another round, trying to stay alive with these 2 rifles at Endpoint. 5-0. They are off to a good start. I don't know. I feel like maybe for people watching, particularly here in at the expo, you know, it's a weird one as to why maybe Hugo and I are a bit invested in this Endpoint squad. But you know, like for British CS, man, we haven't really had like a team in so long that we can rally behind.
I mean, that LAN win today against Fours was the most notable win since Easy Thins Renegades at DreamHack London 2015. You know, it has been some time, and I say we can welcome it. You know, Anders called for the rise of Asian CS. That happened. He also called for the rise of UK CS. Well, maybe, just maybe, he could be onto something, although Cajun wants to put a stop to it. A mid-push as Endpoint's default does suffer a casualty. Robin taken down early on. That could be the start that North needed, considering they only have 2 guns, and with that, they found 2 kills. Cajun doubling down in the T-spawn. He won't commit to it. He goes back towards ladder. Endpoint, where did they decide to go with this? They need to regain this T-spawn map control. That's an odd sentence to say, but with the North having so much, so much available to them with this advantage, Endpoint don't know where these CTs are ending up. Thomas going back towards the A site, looking for an important kill as well. If he dies, that might just be the round in and of itself busted.
Well, wins that first fight. There's a player over on the boost. He didn't go peeking into anything. Kiebi now emerging from short. Does finally deal with Thomas. Cajun arriving on the flank has dropped the bomb, and North, they will get their first round on the board. Now pay attention, right, because these first 5 rounds, Hugo, as we kind of took note of, and it was very obvious, we're just over towards that A site, rinse, repeat, the same thing from Endpoint. Finally, we see North there take the challenge in their hand and kind of switch things up in their default over on the CT side. This mid-push from Cajun, that's kind of the flag in your mind, right? He gets these 2 kills, comes on the flank, gets a 3rd, huge play from him, and a great counter to what Endpoint have been doing. And now, if you're over on this Endpoint side, you've got to bear that in mind. You've got to try and play around this. Okay, well, they've been pushing mid because we've been pushing ramp. So you can see this setup is now going to change for this T side as well. They'll keep a man over in middle. Surreal's waiting at the ramp, and they're pressuring this, or the stairs rather. They're pressuring this ramp over at A once again. This time Robin hasn't seen anyone aggressing in mid, so he actually feels pretty safe to fall away. North still with a very heavy mid presence and 2 players over towards B, 1 at this A bomb site. I think they're believing that on the back of that mid push, they've kind of scared Endpoint away from this A bomb site. And now on the back of not seeing anything, they are going to start to peel a couple more players round. Utility getting thrown in from Endpoint kind of solidifies that decision even further from North.
I mean, if they go for the set piece as well here, with North having no one inside of the site, it's going to be another bomb plant, an Endpoint with a great position to just back up and play that post plant. We know how difficult those retakes can be, even in a 5-on-5. So this is going to be a real test for North as they're finally in a position where they don't have any picks, any 4-on-4s. They've just got to take it in their stride. That's a kill though. MSL boosted up, gets a frag with the AWP. He's going to try and molly off that plant spot, delay the bomb going down here. He does hear the plant, but even if though that molly tags, Mighty Max does get the plant. The grenade lands as well, and he'll go down. Can't retreat off of the site. That leaves Endpoint at a disadvantage in the post plant, but they do have the bomb in their favor.
Oh, Molotov though. Oh, actually he was meant to force Crucial out into the prying eyes of these CT players, but instead he takes the first man down, and Crucial hungry for a little bit more, lands the tag, but it's not quite the kill. Thomas is finished off now as well. It's all on to Surreal, and that's how this is feeling, because he's going to get himself 3, and there's surely no time for Cajun. He tries to get on the bomb, and it's going to be close. Actually, he might just have it. North, they'll narrowly get that round. It's very, very close, but it is the second on the board for the Danes. Cajun saving the day there in what ends up being a 1v1.
A respectable attempt, though. I mean, the fact that Crucial lands that tag as well is everything. If he got the kill there instead of just hitting a body shot, or a leg shot rather, that would have been more than likely an Endpoint round. Surreal does everything he can from the sandbags, but great utility from North to not only nade the plant spot and get that Molotov off, which forces Mighty Max, well, to move out and eventually die, but even mollying sandbags and sending that AWP packing as well. So North at least having set utility to come back in for this retake, and that is very important to be able to hold on to those Molotovs, especially when you know that Endpoint are just committing to A every single round, even with an early default. Surreal holding on to B, Robin watching middle. No one's really pushing the extremities. No one's gone up the B stairs. No one's pushed out through mid. So that's going to be something we're waiting to see from Endpoint. Is there a little bit more depth to this T side now that North have started to pick up defensive rounds over on A?
Well, initially, we are back to what we know and love, and that is that 3-man ramp present. Surreal just waiting here. And this time, though, the difference is he might get rewarded for this hold. There's 2 players up in mid above him and 2 pressuring down the stairs. Kirby's actually alone during this time at the A bomb site as well. Endpoint haven't really caught wind of this just yet, this change that North have made, since this last round, and that is this 2-man setup in mid, 2-man setup at B early. I feel like all it's going to take is for them to realize that Kirby's playing this site solo, and maybe we see Endpoint try and pick the pace up. But North, now rotating a man round. Once again, they go ahead and bring MSL into the fold here at this A bomb site, but he's getting wallbanged down, and he's hanging on within inches of death. Oh, there's fire there, and there's bullets in his face. He gets taken down over at short side. Kirby, now all the pressure's on him, will remove the first man in. Flashed out, actually flashed in. He'll take that fight. Another kill for Kirby. Before he's put down there by Mighty Max. Bomb plant found here. There's 3-on-3 retake. Oh, that's nasty from North.
Yeah, down to 7. This time no molly to just complement that perfectly, but it does put Mighty Max very, very low. He's taken a position up on the railing as well. This could catch a player off guard and give him a free kill. Got to be careful not to fall off there. Retake is on for North. Mighty Max making first contact. He's got the first. Has to go wide. Gade with the trade, but that's more than you can ask for with a man with 7 points of health. Thomas stopping that defuse, and with that, the round probably falling apart for AZ. He's not going to be ready for Crucial on top of the sandbags, and that's going to be Endpoint closing yet another A round. It must be so frustrating to be North here, knowing exactly what Endpoint are doing, but just not being able to win these rounds. Close utility, but not going to be enough. Let's sit on this T side right now. And North's money falling apart again. It's back to pistols. This is where you want to see some aggression, right? Because one of the 2 rounds North have got is one where Cajun just pushed up, flanks, gets 3 kills out through middle, and that was perfect. And that was with 2 rifles in that round. So I hope that North start to throw caution to the wind a little bit in these ecos and bring the fight to Endpoint. But with how passive this default is at the start, at least, it does make that a little bit easier said than done. Oh, that is the B pick.
Yeah, it does come through. And that has actually now left a Krieg in the hands of Gade. Definitely not a man you want to be arming to the teeth here for Endpoint. Unsurprisingly, back to an A plate. And they're trying to get on him, but the problem you're going to see is that North, look at that mini-map, they are rotating everyone around. They are wasting no time here. One kill comes through, they're going left and right, and actually it's all over the place. Cajun dropping Thomas has left this in the advantage of North, though. He's looking for a bit more. Crucial's had his eyes on the prize all game long, but he takes it off for but a moment, and that's where Kirby swings on in and keeps North in the driver's seat. Mighty Max has made noise. Oh, he saw him. He saw him, and now he's just got to try and finish the job. He knows where one of these two players are. If you deal with AZ, Kirby's low, but you don't start believing until he gets it down to the 1v1. Smoke's in the way, and Kirby's in his face. 3 kills there on that CZ, and North, they'll find a third round.
I mean, timing is everything in that round, right? Kirby coming in on that short flank as soon as Crucial looks away. He's been hitting some nasty flicks off this AWP, but just, blindsided there with a quick one-tap. The balls to go for a CZ one-tap at that range as well, right? Like, that gun, at least when I use it, is completely inaccurate, but making it work, and that's an eco round win for North. Finally one where they get aggressive down on B and they get the result they wanted. Surreal taken down, a Krieg given over, and a hold on that A site to boot. Endpoint now on pistols, and a faster play for them, but Kirby will meet the pace with pace of his own. He's pushed up around this smoke, he's got a kill, doing damage as well. The grenades again continue to be so good for North, and Kirby will even finish the job onto Crucial. More flashes to assist his team as Endpoint are left with 3. And I like this from North. They don't, overstay their welcome. They get 2 kills, they fall back, and they play the A site. They know that Endpoint's manpower, and as a result, utility is dwindled, and MSL will just put more numbers down as he gets 2 on short side, even re-aggressing for the 3rd, but almost cost him his life.
Yeah, sadly, no chance for Mighty Max to do that much more damage. North, they've kind of righted their wrongs. They've righted their course here, taking a 4-6 scoreline. You think about the fact that this was 5-0 at one point in time, and they're very much kind of starting to get back into the swing of things. It's something to bear in mind. AZ sat down bottom of the board, 0-8 right now, yet to really be too involved in this. And that was the case for North yesterday, obviously with MSL finding himself having some troubles early on. I hope that we get to see all 5 players kind of in tandem for North showing up at the same time. AZ had a chance there to get his first.
Team flash.
But his team flashed out of mid, which is a bit of a shame. But it's not the end of the world. These are only pistols. And yeah, good night. Good night, mate.
Max is just getting burned to a crisp. Doesn't matter where he goes. Endpoint, they'll go towards the B site, but North have read into this. They've even got that player still in the window waiting. AZ, maybe a chance for him to mop up some anti-eco kills, get himself on the board. Spraying and praying, he gets 1, but has to fall off because of the dink. They're going to try and chase him down. Kirby's here for support, and Endpoint are just playing whack-a-mole right now. They'll get whacked in the face, and North will pick up that anti-eco nice and cleanly, starting to build money on the CT side. And yeah, this really has turned around Harry from that 5-0 lead. But now guns back in the hands of Endpoint. No AWP for Crucial. And only 1 for North for the time being. They've already run a double up in the past, but that hasn't really been too profitable considering that, Endpoint have not been going towards B, so AZ running an AWP there isn't really necessary for the time being. Back to A for Endpoint. MSL trying to fight down the ramp. He's got a gap in the smoke, but they're coming through the left side of it. He could get caught as this scope will lose a bit of his vision, and they're walking up the scaffolding right now. That's a good shot. Thomas dead. He will try and get away before the chase comes in, but he gets Mighty Max on the retreat as well. North in another 5-on-3 can just give up that A-ramp control, but they've got such an advantage. Luckily enough, Robin at least trying to make the pain a little bit easier for Endpoint here.
Oh, I feel like that rotation might have been heard because we see a player from ramp fall away, and in the meantime, Kirby shut down Surreal, so North are feeling pretty comfortable knowing where this one's going to come in. I bet you couldn't guess, Hugo, what bomb site it's going to be. Smokes have gone in to allow for players to try and get across. Try being the operative word. MSL is throwing himself into this offensive position, and Kirby's even wrapping the short area. Now, Crucial has got a bit closer than maybe North anticipate, but that doesn't matter. MSL's just shot him through the smoke, hasn't he? So North tying this one up now 6-6. And no money left for Endpoint. This is where the Danes should actually springboard themselves into the lead if all goes according to plan.
Yeah, oh, how the tables have turned. A perfect time, I would say, for a tactical pause for Endpoint to try and work out how they want to approach the next rifle round, maybe even after this, because going back to these A plays, North have clearly made the adjustments necessary, and Endpoint have been losing numbers in these early A ramp fights. They weren't doing that at the start of the map. They were winning those engagements. Cajuns here in middle spotting again. Last time he saw a mid-rush, he just backed off towards a CT spawn. This time, he's going to have less chance to because they're being silent about it. Surreal making contact. Cajun going to creep back a little bit, try and get out of this position, call for some support from the sidelines. AZ's here, but Cajun doesn't need him. Already dropping the bomb in middle. They can try and fight for that package and at least make it difficult for Endpoint to get towards the site. Will be retrieved though. Surreal getting out of dodge as well. Endpoint, not really many options here. No utility. Best case scenario, maybe dropping into B through that window or trying to continue walking up through middle, but that smoke's about to fade.
Yeah, Surreal's on the receiving end. AZ's, oh, yeah, no, that Molotov's going to force Thomas into the open. One by one, they're shut out of mid. So they'll have to go back to somewhere else. This B ramp looking to be the decision. We haven't even seen Endpoint at B. So let's see if they've got some magic up their sleeves. Obviously, it is just these Deagles. Not anticipating much, but maybe a bomb plant. It's not going to happen, is it? Gade has this crossfire set up alongside it. AZ locking down that bomb site. North 7-6. And AZ starting to stumble back to his feet now. You know, he was 0-8. Now he's gotten 3 in these last few rounds. That's all good. You're starting to have...
They're all anti-kills.
Yeah, look, man, I'm just trying to...
Got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, everything's building up.
And a pause after all, but maybe not the pause that Endpoint wanted. That does look like a tech timeout for the time being. But, you know, even just a bit of a break in the action can be nice. You know, relax. Endpoint, they've played their fair share of CS today already with that 50-plus round bonanza back on Vertigo just today. They're kind of sick and tired of this map at this point, I think.
I mean, they've had enough practice on it today, at the very least.
So.
And I think that makes sense, picking it against North. Obviously, you mentioned how this Danish squad have had their troubles on this map, right? Thinking back to that ATK loss. Now, that was an ATK that looked fantastic, and an ATK that went on to join with the likes of Cloud9. So it's, you know, it was a great team there. But for North, it was a map they were struggling on for a little bit. And it looked like, you know, a lot of teams maybe saw that weakness and tried to pick it against them. So I feel like North, you know, they've gone away. They had to have been working on their Vertigo, because you can't just afford to have a map that you can drop to these underdog teams in that fashion.
And as Sean was saying on the desk, right, first Vertigo with MSL back on this team, so we're definitely wondering, you know, what he's bringing to the table in that sense as well. We've seen that adaptation. Yeah, that's a yoink if I've ever seen one. We've seen that adaptation already on this CT side, despite Endpoint going off to a stunning start on the terrorist half. It has certainly come back to bite them. North now in the lead. Endpoint looking to try and double up. Crucial's on the AWP as well. And let's see if Endpoint have anything else for us. Robin's trying to throw utility into middle. Standard stuff back towards A to keep North in position here on this A site. Kierby, he's been having a hell of a game, and he has no fear with sitting inside of this smoke. Ballsy play with an AWP supporting, though, that could draw the attention away from him, but Mighty Max spams and finds that kill blind. MSL getting hurt by the tick of the Molotov into his chest, and he's got to fall back as well.
Gade tries to go aggressive down towards B ramp, and Surreal in that moment turns around, checks the back line. And so now Endpoint are in a great spot. They sit 2 men up. The pressure's on North, right? As far as North have seen, they saw a few players rotating back and a kill comes in onto Gade. You're kind of scratching your head as to where this ends up. But now with MSL falling, he hears footsteps, he hears movement, he knows what's going on. AZ, 1 kill, looking for more. Gets away with damage, but that is it. Cajun, he's been a bit of a lifesaver for North thus far, alongside the likes of someone like Kierby. But a 1v4, that one, I don't know. I mean, the odds are very much against him, and you'll see why. Surreal just shuts him down. Easy as that, man.
Flank being hold. I like how Endpoint aren't worried really about having such minimal map control, considering Surreal has been holding this flank very well. As you said, doubling back towards B and getting this kill on the stairs was so important. It delayed the rotation of Cajun. He didn't want to move because they didn't know that Endpoint were committing towards A, like you said, or backing off towards the B side. The air of unknown here. And now to see who will be taking the lead at the end of the first half. Endpoint with the last round, trying to get a couple as North put a streak of 5 on the board. Cajun's pushed into mid. I'd love to see a timed aggressive push from him again as Endpoint show numbers towards A if they do as they have been all game long. Surreal spotting down towards the bottom of the B stairs. Gade has to be really careful. Don't really want to take this fight as a CT. You want to spot and fall back, because if you do die as a solo B player, especially when we haven't seen a B execute yet for Endpoint this game, that could just be the site giving up. If Endpoint have numbers below the B stairs, they can double down, rush B, get a plant, and it can be so hard to get back in.
And that's like one of the real mind-gamey things about going for this many A hits. Like all half long, you've just been hitting this A bomb site. And so if there ever was a time for you to be throwing this in, or at least in, like the head of someone like MSL, you're thinking, well, round 15, this could be the time, this could be the place. Before he's done thinking, he's actually taken the face of Mighty Max clean off. Crucial. And Molotov will seal the deal. MSL, ooh, he saved himself there with the smoke. Just gets out of danger. Oh, he's back in with another. MSL, oh, a third. He's just lighting them up at ramp, baby. And Robin's looking for a little bit more. He's shut down as well. Surreal, it's all on you. And while he gets the IGL of North, surely that's it. Another man's moved into the sandbags. Oh dear, his doppelganger, Kirby, emerges, and that's an 8th round for North. 8-7 at the end of that first half. We are split right down the middle. We'll be back with the second and the rest of this best of 3 after a quick break, so don't go anywhere.
Hyping up the crowd as I knife through the maze, heading right to the stage. I'ma serve up the mic like a rice bolognese. Smoking hot like molten rock. Ropes are broken off when I blow the spot like soda pop. Once I've been shaking, I'm the man if I can't be so brazen. Steep in the technique I propel, so the people jump up from the seats and the smell and amazing before anybody can safely afford in the fee that you pay at the door. My rhythm rolls till it overflows, and I get so funky you can hold your nose. So if you wanna come see me rip it again, you better come now or you won't get in. It's jam packed. We're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose. Stand back. We're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose. Break it down. Woo. Give me the match. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna light the fuse. We ain't trying to lose. We're gonna light the fuse. Come on, we ain't trying to lose. We're gonna light the fuse. We ain't trying to lose. We're gonna light the fuse. Pulling out all of the stops. You'll be broad when you watch. We'll be rock up for y'all to the calling the cops, cause we crack 'em in. Let my rap begin. Then I move like a fuse when it's crackling. No eagle trip or loaded clip. No keys to flip or bones to pick. Undefiled and it's fresh, cause it gets volatile with finesse. Hip hop style at its best. When I go up and do my act, the place shakes till the roof is cracked. Make the DJ roof collapse. So when I'm done, get moving fast. Front to back, inside to side, it's wall to wall and it's happening live. But man, I ain't tripping if you should leave. I understand if you need a little room to breathe. It's jam packed. We're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose. Stand back. We're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose.
Wow, 8-7, and we're split right down the middle at the end of that first half. North, they were able to recover. They were 5-0 down at one point in time. Endpoint, they were they came out the gate swinging. They were looking good, but it kind of started to slow down there towards the end of that first half. And Endpoint not really blowing our mind in terms of the tactical diversity. The A plays did work in the beginning, but it definitely slowed down. CT pistol now underway, and North are trying to start their T side in a similar vein. All 5 players up through ramp. Mighty Max, oh dear, he's been Molotoved out of the sandbags. Smoke's gone in to save him from his teammate back in the bomb site. This is a dangerous little round though. He's just kind of hung out to dry here on the sandbags. And there we go. Mighty Max will finally get dealt with. It was just a matter of you know, when, not really if that kill was going to come through. 5v2, 5v1, 1 by 1. It's just getting worse and worse. Endpoint, oh dear, they are hunting. They are hunting for Surreal, and they're not wasting any time. North shut him down, and they'll get that pistol round locked in.
I mean, with how Kiebe's playing right now, Endpoint have got to be a little bit worried. He is tearing through them. 3 kills in the pistol as well. He's 22 frags deep in 16 rounds. And a fast A play, proving that Endpoint aren't the only ones who can do it as well. North are going to give them a taste of their own medicine, and it is bittersweet. Is there even a B site on this map, Harry? I'm not sure. Hopefully North can give us a bit of a tour of that side of the map later on, but once again, it's back towards A, and Mighty Max dead at the first hurdle. It's only eco for Endpoint, no investment really, so not expecting more than a couple of kills at the very most. North have bought in fully into this round. They've gone for the rifles as well, not messing around with SMGs. They do not want to lose this map or series. Coming in as an expected victors. And it is just a shooting gallery on this A site. Surreal's on a long flank. Thomas is holding on to the CT spawn, waiting for North to jump the gun, but they aren't budging. AZ can start to move through. He's got an SMG, so very little to lose. May as well hunt for this extra $600 kill bonus. Cajun waiting on the flank, and Surreal going down as a result. Thomas too far away to have any impact into this round, and that will be North on double digits early into the half. 5 alive as well, can make some real money, but of course Endpoint are going to be coming in with M4s of their own in the follow-up round. North, in essence, running bonus, considering they have 3 Galils and a UMP, but it's still a pretty decent buy, regardless, and knowing that Endpoint are going to want utility that might make them skimp on head armor just that little bit.
Yeah, one of the things that's going to be a real problem for Endpoint is just that Kiebe's having such a damn good game, and we just don't have someone with kind of comparable numbers on the other side of things, right? Like, Kiebe is so far ahead of the next nearest guy in the server. He's 23 and 8, and the next nearest, what, is MSL? 12 and 11. So Kiebe's having a stellar game, and it looked like Crucial early on was going to be the man to step up for Endpoint. I want to see that AWP back in his hand. That really did seem to be the difference maker for these guys in this round. He doesn't have the money to do it, so this M4 is out. And Mighty Max has been deleted over here inside of the site. Crucial trying to answer back, but he's only good for 1, and AZ's opened up this site almost single-handedly, doubling up, and now that bomb plant can come in. It's all onto Surreal in a 1v4.
North are just playing full confidence mode right now, not even going for set pieces or executes. They're just running and gunning, Harry, taking fights and winning them wonderfully. Endpoint getting absolutely blown out the water on the A site in this round. Surreal still hanging around, but little does he know he's being flanked. Kiebe coming in on this back line, should be able to put the knife into his back. Surreal's turned around, though. He might have to drop it for 1 kill, but no, the Krieg too good. And North are going to get away with 11. Another confident round with 4 alive at the end of things as well. So that is exactly how they wanted it to go. Endpoint, no money. Got to give away a 12th pistol armor at the very most. And this is a rough spot to be in. AZ picking up confidence as well, running into the A site. He had a rough first half without a doubt, but T side certainly working out a little bit better for him. Endpoint on their pauses as well. First of the game. When North had this trouble in the first half of getting dealt a lot of A plays, their solution, at least temporarily, was to get aggressive in middle, send Cajun in on that big flank. We'll see if Endpoint have any similar plans coming into this round. Especially considering North seemingly going to just be sending 5 players back towards A.
This is the thing, right? It's really not uncommon to see a lot of A plays on Vertigo, but a part of me wonders if this is MSL going, if you guys want to just do nothing but push A for 15 rounds, I'm going to do nothing but push A for 15 rounds. And that's really what it's looking like here. A bit of revenge from North, as they're maybe trying to get in the heads of Endpoint a bit.
How do you like it?
Yeah. And it's not nice. It's not nice when it's just these back-to-back A plays. Endpoint have been struggling to deal with it. They haven't been able to yet. And so this round, with only the pistols, the armor out, they've got ahead. They've stacked 4 players over here towards A. That's how they're hoping they can solve this crisis, this problem that they've been having over at the A bomb site. But as we've seen, with these smokes going down, you just get those 3 remaining players cut off, and now you have to play this in the retake. But a 4-on-5 retake at the A bomb site, North can just sit at ramp. We've seen how that worked out already in that first half. So
they're not even backing off, Harry. They want all the kills.
Yeah, I mean,
they want all the fights.
I like this. And the fact that it's MSL taking all these peaks as well, like, just furthers that idea in my head that he has gone, let's just 15 rounds it to A, or however many rounds it takes. He's out for blood, and he's getting it right now. 12-7. Money's back in for Endpoint at the very, very least coming into this next round. And I think, I almost said crucially, I think most importantly, Crucial is going to have that AWP to play around with here. The money's finally there for it. And I'd love to get to see like an early ramp fight or something like that from him. Maybe, well, I was going to say, because if he plays it over towards CT, those smokes just cut him off, right? So yeah, maybe he tries to get stuck in with it early here.
I mean, that's where MSL found success, right? Playing around the sandbags, having teammates supporting him with utility, fighting that short angle with the AWP as well. These are favorable fights for a CT AWP on this map, and Crucial does at least have it, but he's not going to be going too aggressively, just sitting on the sandbags for now. Has a smoke in case a Molotov comes in. North's utility has been pretty fantastic across both halves here. We talk about those Molotovs really on both sides as well. Max has been getting beat up by that a little bit. And so that sandbag's position almost certainly going to get Molly. Crucial to move back towards short. It's a contact play. The flash is good, but he comes in a second too late. He gets a frag. Max on the site, holding his own for 1 as well. An advantage for Endpoint, and much needed as well. Molotov's coming in to force a player off of the boost. Occasions come around on the sandbags. Max getting burnt out of the site. Endpoint can give it away, but Kiebi's coming on this flank. First time we've seen mid and rifle round all game long, and he's taken a kill to Robin and dropped into the empty B site. Surreal surely won't be ready, and Kiebi is so quick. 3-on-2 right now. The tables have turned, and that bomb, well, it hasn't been picked up. It can go absolutely anywhere. Instead, it's still going to be this A play. Kiebi's dropped back in through T-spawn, and he's going to be creeping in to reunite with his team.
Oh, Cajun's extended the lead even further. Mighty Max, only man left standing here, and now they know that he's here as well. His problems really are just beginning. North don't even have to commit to this A site, but they're just looking for the kill. They're looking for the gunfight, and Mighty Max, oh dear, leaving the site, getting back into CT, still with this AWP, smites down the first. AZ is gone. Mighty Max getting it down to a 1v2. No one else offering up a fight, and Max is just left high and dry back in CT spawn. This must be infuriating. He has not seen anybody yet. He's going to start to creep forward, looking like he wants to try and give this a go. He does not anticipate 2 players being inside of the bomb site, and that's sorry, the scope has been heard. They know that he's here. Mighty Max gets the first, but the trade is in from Cajun, and he'll save the day. North will get round number 13. They flip that round back on its head again. Very back and forth. Closest that Endpoint have come to getting one since moving into this CT side.
Yeah, just Kiebi, right? That flank was so important as well, right? Coming in at the perfect time, catching a kill, but not only in mid, but even clearing out B, and you know, Surreal rotating back in, that always puts a seed of doubt for Endpoint. They're wondering, North have B, are they committing? I don't know. They try and get info on A. That's when someone's waiting on the sandbags for another kill, and it just falls apart. Notably as well, North don't pick up that AWP after winning the clutch. They don't need it. They've just been winning these rifle battles and going fast and furious towards this A site. Why change? Mighty Max spam down, does get a chance to escape, but only, well, I was going to say temporarily, but missed shot from AZ, and Mighty Max gets around the corner. Still playing around this smoke, still hanging around for a little bit more.
Yeah, and I've been looking at this utility that North have been using, and I was thinking, like, man, some of it's been looking so filth. These nades that have been going into the A bomb site. Well, I just did a little look, Hugo. The side of Endpoint, they've done just over 300 total utility damage thus far. North are currently sat on 900, so they've done triple the damage of Endpoint in utility in this game thus far. And, you know, since getting onto the... Yeah, it really does, right? You think about these A-side takes, every time that North have been coming in, it is to like a ragtag squad of 20 HP players that they're able to mop on up. And, well, this round's no exception of that. The cleanup crew is in, and MSL's got his mop and bucket at the ready. Unfortunately, he's just been flushed away. Ooh.
Talk about utility damage, Harry.
Yeah, there it is. Case in point. It's Cajun B.
14-7, Endpoint yet to field around on the CT side, and like you said, it's just a disrespect from North going back towards every single round, and it's worked out permanently.
Perhaps the most mental stat is that Kirby has more utility damage on his own than all of Endpoint combined. So, nice. Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense. He's having a fantastic game. Utility is king on a map like Vertigo, and no one knows that better than a man who's 26-9.
Well, this is it, do or die. This is Endpoint's map pick, and they're up against 14. This could break their money, put them on pistols against the 15th round from North. That is not where you want to be. And just a stalemate, waiting towards that A side with 2 players for North. It's not the full commitment, though, so we might see a bit of a different approach to this round, and I, for one, welcome it. Slow and steady wins the race. Cajun looking to creep out through middle with MSL, that bomb in tow as well. Endpoint not watching mid aggressively. Robin's back towards the spawn side. Can call for assistance from the elevator room as well. Endpoint do have a AAA setup, and those players leaving from the A site. This is going to be the worst possible time for Endpoint if North hit B. There's only one man here. Surreal is waiting in the wings. Robin does block a smoke to give himself a bit of a gap, but no one's going to be pushing deep. They should just be dropping in through the window here. That leaves Surreal on the chopping block. He's going to have to drive a knife into the back of North. 35 seconds for them to come into this site and get the bomb plant. Does he know what's around the corner?
Well, the Molotovs, the utility is all giving it away. Rotations are starting to come in, but already the kills found by AZ and MSL. They've opened up this B site, and they've been allowed to push close to CT. This leaves Thomas in a bit of an awkward spot here, as he's trying to hold on to this side of the map. The other two grouped up in mid, and oh my word, all the kills are coming up in favor of North right now. And it's a sad day for Crucial, as he's left alone. Oh, shot missed. Likely just wants to hold on to the AWP. I mean, Endpoint have got no money left, nothing to work with. You mentioned how they were going to be on pistols, and they don't even get to hold on to the AWP. North are going to reach map point here, 15-7. Once again, just to reiterate, this was 5-0 in favor of Endpoint over in the beginning of this game. They were up 6-2 at one point in time, and since moving into this second half, they've just not been able to field a single round. North have been running over them.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the mind games that Endpoint could have thrown into that last round of the first half by going into B. Well, that's exactly what North just did. 6 straight A rounds in a row, and then finally a B execute after showing A presence. Endpoint were not ready for it. Mighty Max trying to fight on ramp again. He's got a good bit of utility to disperse here, but he's so close. They could come around the corner at any time, and they will. AZ's with the frag. Thomas with the trade. Down to 5, though. Has to retreat. And we know the North utility will likely be able to finish off that job. That Molotov as well. Very close for comfort. Thomas tucked in as he waits for North to get closer. 4-on-3 to close out the map right now. Everything looking in the favor of North. Endpoint have read this well. They've got everyone here, but is that going to be enough?
Oh, well, the first kill found is 2-on-3, and more damage done. Actually, it's only Surreal left standing, and one by one, they'll get shut down. North, they secure victory here in the first map, and they take it dominantly. It looked like things were going to be close. It looked like we were going to be split right down the middle at the end of that first half, but things go very, very Danish there towards the end.
Yeah, from bad to worse, right? And that's going to be at least Endpoint's map pick swept out from underneath them. Not how you like to see it, but with Dust 2 on the horizon, at least a chance to try and pull things back moving forward. That being said, North at least looking good, right? MSL's leadership back in this team. We've all been excited about it as well, right? We've seen North have trouble on this map before, but hopefully that is at least now gone with this man back in the team.
Yeah, I think, for Endpoint as well, it's a bit unfortunate in the timing of this, right? North, now they're on the ropes, this is them with their backs against the wall, and you could see MSL there. He was out for blood, even though he's not putting up crazy numbers. He's making these pretty ballsy decisions, just going A for the majority of that second half, kind of giving. Yeah, and then you've got Kirby dropping that performance. With Dust 2 coming up next, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see if Kirby can keep that up, and if MSL keeps up this very aggressive style of calling, right? And Crucial's or something else to talk about. But Hugo, I think we can leave all that for when we get back from after the break, because I just want to digest what we just witnessed. So we'll be back with that second map after a quick break, so do not go anywhere.